that gives me a clue that it is going to be the A pincer, the A hit coming in. Hades, he hears a lot of noise being made, and Rocks is going to be boosted up. Hades caught looking the wrong way, but he spins around and dispatches off Rocks.
Can't ask for more than that from Hades. Probably should have been a goner, but just makes the most of that. Slight lapse in judgment. And now he can go back in for more. David taking the initiative, trying to push down onto the connector side, but he is all alone. Top of mid is occupied by Lucan, and Hades, though, has a good idea as to what's coming up. 9Z, though, have been so passive on their approach that they haven't fully shown their hand just yet. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, they've got enough time to re-rotate. Hades in the right position, in the right spot, has dropped the bomb back down again. 2 kills is where his round comes to an end, but he's done more than enough for the rest of his team. And now Spinks, with a perfect angle, has put that to use. 2 players remain. Dhow with a crisp 1 tap, goes in for more. A lot of damage inflicted to him from Max, and will be enough to finalize his life. For 30 seconds, he's about to become swelled. Absolute team player. Very aggressive when the ball is needed. But Lucan, there we go. We've seen the bull in action now. Takes off the head of Madden, makes it look easy. And there's a second. He's charging straight in on the side, all alone now that Spinks has dealt the fatal blow. But it's going to be a B hit anyway. And they're catching some players in transition. Snappy relocates to the back of the site. Good first frag. Keeping them honest, but a great counteractive kill from David. That should be the bomb plant. And considering that Lucan is still over on A, they're going to have eyes in the back of their head at some point here, Ence, on this retake. To make matters worse, Max is pushed up close. He'll have to drop on Spinks. And Dhow may get one, but now his position is known. He has a smoke. He has no kit by his side. I believe one was dropped down on the site, though, which has now been picked up. And he's going to look to try and get into the defuse of the smoke, but there's Max.
Ence are not going to be poking and prodding in that direction.
It's the kind of composition of weaponry where you can't really play standards. And this is the problem, because at longer ranges, unless you land some crazy 1-deeks, you are always going to come out second best against AK-47s, as they found out firsthand through on middle. Already middle has been lost at great cost of lives, and already Ence will be thinking, can we pull the plug in a way where potentially save these guns? And they have gone for a stack on B. So they could still feasibly be into an interesting position. Madness baiting him across. He needed to survive there, because that would have allowed Snappy a little bit more leeway to deal with his eagle, and everything comes out for them, especially as the push is now coming in. Spinks back to site. He's going to get one, but that's all he will get from his endeavors. And now it's going to be a case of 9Z putting the final nails in the coffin. They should move 3-2 in the lead.
And even though they're aware of the fact that it is just a pistol, it's going to be maybe a light investment and whatnot, they are being so methodical, right? That you're looking at the utility usage, you're looking at how they're ensuring they can't really get caught off guard. And it was a bit of a stack coming in, actually, from the CTs. You had 3 players there with the US.
Max and Spinks passing by one another through the smoke. Snappy takes the first with his eagle. Won't be a second, but a lot of damage done. And now Spinks shows his hand. AK-47 picked up in the process. Does have Kevlar as well, so aim punch won't be a problem. Hades has gone on for one as well, and now Rocks falls on the side. Madden, though, after a flashed up Max, is going to go looking, but Max does decapitate him. Now can push in. Maybe a second kill could be forthcoming after all. David's been completely destroyed down at 17 HP, but he's not the main player. The main star in this round was Max, but not for much longer. And now Hades is cleaning up. The mop and brush is out, and he just forces them all away. There won't be a bomb plant. The bomb is spilled out the ramp, and the rest of the players are about to just get cleaned up and thrown out with the trash. This round is a done deal.
Of the smoke, trying to find something, but it's all the ruse while his remaining members slowly sneaked away towards the A bomb site. But they're walking into the walking headshot machine. That thinks Madden, as he will easily pick up a few kills of his own. And David, they knew where he was earlier, and his days, they're numbered. Still leaving a little bit in the coffer, as going to be running in onto the bomb site, right? Just following the smoke, just waiting a second before the smoke blooms, and they will actually get the bomb down here, and things can suddenly get a little messy. Dhow able to, however, find Rocks, but the bomb will be planted, and that's a little bit of money in the bank, and a kill for David.
Oh, there's a small gap in that smoke, but another one's been put in that allows David to pick up the AK. Grenade is good damage, and the follow-up is there on Spinks. They feel claustrophobic right now, 9Z, because they've got such low firepower and no utility. They feel like they have to push out. They have to try and take control over this round. DGT with even trade back and forth with Hades, but now Lucan's getting aggressive with the Deagle. His back is open though to CT, and he will get swarmed. Snap to use this, and in doing so now, they're walking into the crosshair of Deha. Sprays the one, anticipating a second player, but Rox does counteract. That's allowing them a little bit of safe passage up on the connector side. Madden in a bit of an awkward spot. He's got players on connector, players on ramp. Time itself is ticking away from 9Z. They've got to start pressing W. They've got to start putting down some pressure. And Hades will retort in kind with his AWP. Madden goes down on the side. DGT and Lucan both pick up big frags, but here's Spinks. 5 seconds to play with. Spray is good, but he dies just in time. You're going to struggle. We'll have to wait and find out. What we do know is that Spinks is on the heater. Well, that continues. David has multiple chances. Take one of them, and that's left Max out to dry on the end of a fishing rod. Completely baited. David gets one finally, but it's at the cost of multiple of his teammates, and that could very well just be the final nail being put in. However, he's now going to stand his ground, and as long as he's alive on CT boxes, it allows his teammates to push out through connector and behind him as well. Down he will fall, but DGT is straight back into the action. 2-on-2. Post plant already half of that fuse has ticked away. They need to get on this side, but Snappy and has only died the same amount of times as 19 picked up rounds. That's something when he dies, they typically falter. Rock's now very awkward, very labored. He's easy to go nuclear. And instead, it was more of a puff of smoke. Only one kill. Here comes the rotational play, but Snappy may be overzealous. Maybe needed to wait for his teammates to push out onto the site. So all things considered, Ence find themselves a player behind. They are at a disadvantage, but it's their two heavy hitters. It's Hades and Spinks. And Spinks right now basically counts for 5 players on himself. And he'll show here, as long as David doesn't put a bullet between his eyes, which he has. Ooh. Hades keeping this round alive, but there's Lucan as well.
A couple of holes in the defense, and he's not there. You're going to be missing it so much.
35 seconds left, and Ence is starting to force their will and explode out onto the side. And explosives have been planted through the smoke. Spinks nullifies Lucan. Deha onto DGT, and the pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. Snappy puts it down to just Rox. 3 players to find and frag, and he will stumble, trip, and fall. So be careful what you wish for. Deha, elsewhere on the map, has put down Rox over on the B side, and now he can push out alone. He's a one-man wrecking crew. He's trying to draw away rotations, but 9Z, to their credit, are not biting down on this. Spinks now going in for one. He's got his 30, but he will be shut down afterwards. And DGT and Max, last 2 players standing, have at least posted up one before DGT is wiped clean. Max has got 2 more players to find and frag, but I think he's going to get caught from the back, and there is Madden. 16-7 will be the